What's up, coffee lovers? Coming at you from Vegas post UFC 279. So it's September, well, no, it's technically September 11th. Oh, September 11th. It's a very particular day in the US. As I'm saying that, I'm just realizing that. So that means something extra to our country, and maybe some of you. On September 10th, I was at the UFC event at T-Mobile Arena, and leaving there and kind of throughout the day just responding to messages, talking to some of you about the coffee. Some of you have received your very first bag, and you were sending me cool photos and messages about it. And sweet is a word that I keep hearing coming up, and that's very true. It is a sweet coffee. It also has to do with the roast, and that's part of what I wanted to talk about right now. I know some of you haven't received your first one yet because you just ordered, so that's really cool too. Probably, I've talked to several of you today that your order just got placed, and so that you know always as well, we roast the beans when you order them, so we don't roast a bunch and have them sitting around going, man, can't wait until somebody picks this up. We roast Monday through Friday, and there's a whole process, something called degassing and degassing, and then they're shipped to you once they're ready, and it's super fresh. But I wanted to share a bit about the roast because this is a medium roast, and that is relevant depending on the roaster. What can be like a medium dark with one roaster might be more of a dark with another, or more of a medium. There's something called city plus roasting, like all kinds. There's a lot to it, and so I just wanted to share some basics because someone said, hey, are you in fact, a couple of questions I got today were pretty funny, and they're spot on. For those of you that know me, super into health and fitness, and constantly experimenting with new things that are on the market or maybe coming to market, about how to optimize my brain and my fitness level and energy level and all those things. In fact, I've realized recently I'll be 37 pretty soon. I tell you, I don't feel 37 in terms of what I think the stories are that people can tell themselves, but a story for another day. So back to the roasting. People are asking like some questions like, hey, do you plan on coming out with a dark roast, or what can I expect with the medium roast? I don't normally drink that, or a couple other things too, which I'll answer here at the end in terms of like what's to come, in terms of things that you'll be able to pick up in the future or near future from our website, from our store. But let's talk about the roast. So a few of the very like essential differences in a medium roast is that there's actually more coffee flavor. So you get more of the, we'll call it like the regional taste, or just the taste of the coffee itself, where it comes from. And that's one of the reasons with this bean that we went with a medium roast. It's a very specific, a very special taste, a very rare taste. Sweet Lily Ethiopian. This bean itself. We've talked a lot about this, like being a 1% bean. What does that mean? It means it's not something you're gonna find everywhere. So when you do a darker roast, there's a couple things that come along with that. You can actually end up making it a little bit more bitter. You can eliminate some of that unique taste. In fact, you do eliminate some of that unique taste. So we really wanted to bring out the best of this specific coffee. We wanted, when you brewed it, because with a medium roast, that's another cool thing, is it doesn't really matter. You can do it cold brew, you can do a pour over, a French press, you can grind it up and stick it in a reusable K-cup if you want. But it's more versatile as a medium brew, whereas it can be a little more specific with the dark roast in terms of what comes out when you have different inputs. So that's a bit on the medium roast, and there is a little bit more caffeine content in a medium roast too. It's, for most people, it's not very significant or noticeable. When you roast beans, they expand, and so you actually get more beans in a bag, more beans per bag, I guess you could say, when you're doing a medium roast, which just by nature means you're gonna get more caffeine content in the same amount of same packaging or same amount of surface space, I guess. So if you for someone that like doesn't measure your coffee by weight, or you kind of eyeball it, or you have a spoon or scoop or something, when you take your beans or your ground coffee and you put it in something, you're gonna have more caffeine content, I guess, by surface area, just more beans, so more caffeine in there. Hopefully that makes sense. But that's a little bit of the difference between medium and dark roast. And then what's to come, we have some things that are on the list as we continue to grow. And so thank all of you very much for your support too, for subscribing to the coffee subscription. That just really is the best value right now in terms of free shipping, and you get a discount because it makes our life easier. We know that, you know, what we're gonna have to roast, and we're gonna roast it and ship it, and it's just automatic. So it makes your life easier, makes our life easier. So that's why there's a nice discount for that. We'll call it like a loyalty discount. So thanks for that. And yeah, you can buy single pound bags. In fact, we now have the 5-pound bags available too. For those of you that love stocking up for the month and go through 5 pounds, like kudos to you. You can now order the 5-pound bags right off the website. They should be available. We were playing around with the stock, but if you go on there and you're finding the 5-pound bag option isn't working, just email us, use the contact button, reach out, message us on Instagram or Facebook. And in fact, we're setting up a business WhatsApp right now as well. And so you'll be able to reach us that way too. There's a lot of ways. You can email Derek at shadylion.com anytime you want, DEREK at shadylion.com, DEREK, Derek at shadylion.com, to get the 5-pound bag if for some reason it's not working. If anything's not working when you try, you know, we're still making sure that all the web development is like really dialed in. It's a tricky thing sometimes. You tweak one thing over here and then something else over there. So thanks for all your patience, but it seems like it's working like pretty fluidly. So hopefully you don't have any trouble with it. And then we have some plans for some flavors coming up through the holiday season. We might do a pumpkin spice. Just kidding. I don't know. Maybe we're not kidding. Do you like pumpkin spice still? Is that still a thing? But in fact, if you're you want to have some fun, throw down in the comments below some flavors that might interest you for the upcoming season, whether it's something around Halloween or Thanksgiving or Christmas through the fall and winter season. We can do some flavors, so we'll have some fun with it, and put a flavor that you'd like down below. Also, you guys know I'm really big on functional mushrooms. Mushrooms are a big part of my performance, I think. Just my physical health and mental health, and mushrooms, are pretty good for us. There's a lot of science behind that. They can get the neurons going, stuff like lion's mane and chaga and reishi mushrooms. So that is definitely part of the future plan. And we'll do, some different roasts and some different types of beans. Maybe there's a Brazilian bean in the future, and a couple of other things. But really, appreciate all the questions and like, oh, you guys can do this, you guys can do that. I love the excitement from everyone out there. And again, thanks for all the support. Really glad that you are enjoying the beans. They are, they're a unique flavor. I mean, we probably post or talk a little bit more about why we went that route in the future. In fact, there's a little bit you can check out on our website in the blog section that talks a bit about this, and it's a big part of it has to do with Aurea being born in Ethiopia. Aurea is one of the other key founding members of Shady Lion, technically my sister. The stories have so many layers and complexity to them. If you don't know the stories, they'll all come together at some point. In fact, maybe we'll do a podcast about it. I do have a podcast as well called the Human Derek Podcast, so we'll plug that in there too. But I think a lot of you ended up here, from those channels as well. So this is very, very cool. And hopefully that answers the question about the medium and dark roast. and what's to come. And make sure you sign up for our email newsletter. We've only sent one out so far. We don't want to spam you a bunch. We're not a heavy like discount company either. It's a premium product, so we have been playing around with some discounts just to help some of you come on board with your first purchase. But don't expect a lot of like things are on sale, things are on discount coming in the email. It's not really what we're about. We price things where we believe they should be priced based on the quality that they are and what they bring. But if you're on our email list or you're just one of the people that's messaging and engaging with us in conversation, we'll do some kind of a thing so you get first access when we roll out new products